What's up, guys? Sean Lennon here with the Fightlete Report. If you're watching this on YouTube channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Follow us at Fightlete on Instagram, at Fightlete on Twitter, and head over to fightlete.com for exclusive MMA articles. Today we're going to go over MMA news. It's January 26th. Ben Funky Askren has just been announced tonight. He will be taking on Jake Paul, who is a boxer and YouTube star. April 17th on pay-per-view, of course. Ben Askren hasn't been in action since July of last year. He then, after the big knockout to Jorge Masvidal, he then retired at UFC 249, never to return again to the sport of MMA, but it looks like he is going to come over and move over the first time into boxing. So we'll have to see if that works out for him as well. And again, we haven't seen Ben Askren take on George Masvidal. The last time that fight happened was back in July at UFC 239, rather not 249, 239, where he was knocked out 5 seconds in the first round. Jake Paul's coming off a big win over Nate Robinson in a big knockout, and we'll see if the YouTube star has to offer Funky Ben Askren when they take on each other in the boxing ring, not MMA, boxing ring, on April 17th on pay-per-view. Darren Till, Middleweight, returns to fight Marvin Vettori at the Middle UFC main event, yet to be announced on April 10th. Of course, Darren Till, been a while since we've seen him inside of action, since Fight Island in July when he lost to Robert Whitaker. And Marvin Vettori off an impressive victory in his last fight over Jack Hermanson and getting it done and moving up the rankings. He'll have to take on Darren Till to move forward. Former middleweight champion Robert Whitaker fights former #1 contender Paula Costa for a yet-to-be-announced event, April 17th. Winner reportedly will be fighting Israel Adesanya for the middleweight title. After losing Dustin Poirier in the main event of UFC 257, Conor McGregor's coach John Kavanagh spoke to Ariel Helwani on Ariel Helwani's MMA News show. Said Conor is harassing everyone for a rematch at this point with Dustin Poirier. Would love to get the rematch before the summer, if that works out. If not, maybe he drifts off into boxing. But, of course, Kavanagh would love to see Conor McGregor get that rematch before the summer. Dustin Poirier on Khabib Nurmagomedov. And after beating Conor McGregor at UFC 257, he said, if Khabib's retired, this was a championship fight. I'm the champion, and I promise you I was not trying to impress Khabib at this point. Of course, he lost to Khabib last year in 2019, actually, not in 2020, but in 2019. By submission. Khabib Nurmagomedov's future is still yet undecided with the UFC after meeting with Dana White in Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. On why calf kicks would be effective against Conor, Dustin said, I hit hard after his big, he had a big second round knockout over Conor McGregor back at UFC 257. He said, I hit hard and Conor's wide stance made it hard to check. He was kicking into the check. And he wasn't checking correctly. Even when he was getting the bad part of the kick, swelling in the calf, has nowhere to go. Unlike a thigh compartment syndrome happens and it gets stuck in pockets, and that is the reason why he ascertains he got the big finish over Conor McGregor, of course, at UFC 257. And that happened over the weekend. A huge upset as well, and a big win for Dustin Poirier in the main event. And getting that opportunity to go out there in the second round and get the big TKO finish. And I feel like this is a great time to see what Dustin Poirier has to offer for the UFC at this point. And, it only took him 2 minutes and 32 seconds in the second round. He made that adjustment, came back with a huge finish as well. Just to recap a little bit of what happened on Fight Island last Saturday, if you were under a rock. At this point, we are talked about injury update for UFC 257, and it looks like those were submitted to mixedmartialarts.com earlier this week for those athletes competing on the pay-per-view, which took place this past week on Saturday, January 23rd, inside Etihad Arena on Fight Island, Abu Dhabi. Dustin Poirier is suspended for 7 days, a mandatory rest. Conor McGregor suspended 180 days or until his right fibula x-ray is cleared by a doctor. Also suspended 45 days with no contact for 30 days. Michael Chandler suspended for 7 days, mandatory rest. Dan Hooker, who was lost to Michael Chandler in the first round due to TKO, is suspended 45 days with no contact and 30 days due to that loss. Joanne Calderwood suspended 7 days, mandatory rest, while Jessica I suspended 45 days, no contact for 30 days due to left brow laceration. Mahmoud Muradov suspended 30 days with no contact for 21 days due to a hard bout. And Andrew Sanchez suspended 180 days after his knockout loss to Muradov until nasal or right tibial fibula x-rays are cleared by the doctor. Also suspended 45 days with no contact for 30 days. Marina Rodriguez suspended 7 days for mandatory rest. And Amanda Ribas, her opponent, suspended 45 days with no contact for 30 days due to the TKO loss. UFC 257 returns blockbuster numbers for Conor McGregor. Despite the widespread ESPN Plus outages, ESPN told MMA Fighting that we're aware of a technical issue prevented a portion of users from accessing the ESPN Plus pay-per-view event. We're working for that experience. As they told MMA Fighting, we worked as quickly as possible to identify and resolve the issue. Some fans who ordered UFC 257, according to MMAmania.com, got no fights, while others could and not even managed to purchase. In spite of those issues, Poirier vs. McGregor 2 is expected to finish somewhere in 1.6 million range, according to Sports Business Journal via MMA Junkie, with 400,000 of those pay-per-view buys coming from overseas. So big numbers. And if you look at the overall numbers for Conor McGregor's fights, this one, it ranks up so high that it's just under his number one fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov, which is 2.4 million, but 1.6 million is almost tied with UFC 100 at this point as well for most pay-per-view buys. If you look at it, it looks like it's really a memorable time to be in the UFC, on these major cards as well. So Nick Lentz said he has lost about 40% of his vision. He competed at UFC 257, losing to Movsar Evloev last weekend. And unfortunately, he had to announce his retirement on a sad bit of note here with the Fight Report. Note here, we wish him the best of luck in his post-fight career. Having competed in the UFC since 2009, I don't think he was with the promotion all the way up till now, but still, that's pretty impressive. And a little bit more about that. He said he's calling it a career. While many say it's a rash decision, he's not far removed from his split decision loss to Movsar Evloev at UFC 257 in Abu Dhabi. And the Minnesotan says there wasn't much choice left for him after his eye injury, and he has only 40% vision left, and that's horrible. So, Nick Lentz, we wish you the best of luck in the future. And this is it for the Fightlete Report. Remember, hit subscribe button. Follow us at Fightlete on Instagram, on Twitter. Guys, things are blowing up. Make sure to head over to Fightlete.com. Exclusive MMA interviews, breaking stories, and MMA results as well. LFA will be in action this Friday as well. So there's no action from the UFC. Just to give you guys an update on this week's schedule. UFC is not back until February 6th for the big card between, of course, Derek Curtis Blades and Alistair Overeem and Alexander Volkov. UFC Vegas 18 takes place February 6th. If you need your fix in the meantime for MMA, look no further than LFA 98 happening this Friday night as Josh Fremd takes on Bruno Oliveira in the main event. And this is it for Fightlete Report. Head over to Fightlete.com. It's your host, Sean Lennon. Have a good one.